Ooh, DVD. Doing this and adding shorts for this game has got me more subscribers.
Wait until she tells the police what she's studying in school.
In this moment, you are under arrest. The longer you, the more issues you give us, you're going to get more charges, and then you won't go. So in this moment, just listen to us so we can get you out of here.
You are?
That's all I want.
No. Yours pause stuck on menu.
So then
Good
you
idea.
should go right now. If it helps, like, if you handcuffs,
Apparently I escaped. I'm stuck.
we say you come in. But right now, we're putting you here, and I'm going to take the cuffs off. Please, so stand up so I can take the cuffs off, and we're going to put you in here.
I was recording that shit.
Come on, get up. You have a phone? Your mom has a phone. Come on, get up. Get up, you're making us win.
This is not on your time. We're not on your time. This is not this time. This is our time. You're under arrest. So it's either you get up or we help you up. You want to smack me?
Oh.
Stop, bro! Stop! 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 You're gonna fucking dead!
Sit down. Sit down.
The self-proclaimed criminal justice major was charged with aggravated assault on an officer. It remains unclear what started the original fight or if the female victim pressed any charges.
It's on a bit of a ghost though.
When it's time to slow your business, it's time for Shopify. The world to go the way you want.
What?
D-Day for Jeffrey Johnson. A man who once had the ear of prime ministers and presidents. Is it right to find out his spirit?
Fuck you.
The verdict, guilty on all counts.
We've said our biggest glitch going on this.
The two women he abused when they were children.
We tried. Literally tried going into a game. All of a sudden, next minute, we're escaping.
Today, we are announcing that the Justice Department is
And it-
opening
they
an
froze.
investigation into the city of Phoenix and the Phoenix Police Department.
The Phoenix Police Department
What
is
was that?
one of the deadliest departments in the country. And that's not just my opinion, that's a fact according to the Department of Justice. In 2021, the Civil Rights Division of the DOJ opened an investigation into the department after it had suffered from a wave of controversies in the prior years. And by the time the DOJ stepped in, their reputation with the public had been almost complete.
Memory.
The Justice Department Civil Rights Division, and it will consider several issues. The Phoenix Police Department uses excessive force in violation of the Fourth Amendment.
They were accused
Wow.
of regularly engaging in a pattern of violating
How long
citizens'
was this
rights,
video?
using excessive and unjustified deadly force, and even mistreating children.
54 minutes. Wow. I'll not last video.
Physically disciplined, you drag your feet in, he's a child. The only rights we have, he has no rights for him to teach him. He wants to be him.
But perhaps one of the
55
clearest
minutes.
and most publicly controversial examples of the broader
That's
use of
fine.
force and accountability problems that were plaguing the department took place
I'm,
on the night
Simpsons
of
in
May
run.
21st, 2020, when a disgruntled neighbor at an apartment complex in
Simpsons.
the Ahwatukee area of Phoenix reported a possible disturbance to 911.
Phoenix Police, this is Steve. How can I help you?
That was recorded.
I have a domestic dispute going on, and I can tell that they're just at each other's throats.
Don't know when
That
that
seemed
was
the first
recorded.
call that was ever released by the PPD, but reports
22
indicate that
days
the
ago.
dispatcher initially entered the complaint as a low priority call, but about 20 minutes later, the neighbor called 911 again.
Yeah. I can't fucking upload it, man. Why? My keyboard's decided to play fucking tosspot, so. Oh well, right.
Every time I come back, he says, always fighting.
Ah, one of my shorts I did. Fucking Jason. I mean, fucking what? 1.4k views, 2 subscribers, 8
Out
likes.
here slamming on doors, and I don't know. Somebody could be getting thrown into the door, for all I know. But I hear all kinds of things.
That second call
Still got something.
at that point what had started as a minor disturbance report
After
was
some stuff.
elevated to a higher priority by the dispatcher. And
I want to say
minutes later,
yes in one of his
the
roles.
incident was shot and killed in his
Find it!
Earlier that evening, Arizona native Ryan Whitaker had attended his daughter's graduation.
Fuck you.
Returned
Do you mind
just
recording?
before the first 911 call was placed.
Good girl!
Fuck you!
Already home when he arrived,
Good
he
talking to
later described Ryan as being somewhat emotional about the graduation, but he was not angry or upset.
Hey,
But
wake it
they
up,
decided
look.
to
Fucking shoulder, don't
play
get
some
past
video
them
games
things.
together while they discussed their plans for the weekend. They were having fun, and this was the noise that the upstairs neighbor allegedly confused for a domestic dispute. Not long after settling in, there
So
was
this is the
a
one who's got
knock
fucking
at
butt
Ryan's
like
door.
fucking
On the other
Beyonce.
side of that door was
Oh, wait, no.
Officer
Nicki
John
Minaj.
Bergamo and Officer Jeff Cook of the Phoenix Police Department. The officers had arrived at the scene about 10 minutes after the second 911 call was placed. By this time, both Ryan
Well, here we go.
No, you can't blame me, so I'm not doing nothing.
Fucking eating broadband bollocks.
Nothing wrong with broadband.
There were no wrong with last fucker.
This one's quicker.
Just because you've got a twatted stupid twat box. Get a PlayStation, I love that.
No.
Yeah. I never had any
Why,
problems with
mate?
mine.
Oops.
Fucking twat box.
No, I missed the great skill check. It's a ghosty. Is there any? Leave me alone. Leave me alone. Ghosty, leave me alone. What? No. Me. He were nowhere fucking near me and he got me. Honestly, he was nowhere near me and hit me.
I'm close to Allie.
What?
I'm a bit closer to Allie.
No, Medkit. Really? Oh. I'll bring this top drawer off. One's on the way to you now. I'm nowhere. I think that was best last night when that killer picked you up and then all of a sudden Oh, fuck off.
UK's biggest live events.
You bet you need to mend or you're going to go down. You need to mend.
Neighbor allegedly confused for a domestic dispute. Not long after settling in, there was a knock at Ryan's door. On the other side of that door,
Don't want to. Oh, fuck off. Leave me alone. What? There's no on. Let's take it internet. Literally. The only thing taking internet's fucking Xbox. Part of the hookers. Whoever's on the road is on his way. That's not gonna work now. Nope, dead on hope. We'll come over here. Let's do this, Jen. We'll come.
he was not angry or upset in any way. The couple eventually decided to play some video games together while they discussed their plans for the weekend. They were having fun, and this was the noise that the upstairs neighbor allegedly confused for a domestic dispute. Not long after settling in, there was a knock at Ryan's door. On the other side of that door was Officer John Ferragamo and Officer Jeff Cook of the Phoenix.
Oh, is he one of them? Is he one of them ghosts? Is he one of them ghost faces? Is he?
After the second phone call was placed. By this time,
Oh,
both Ryan and his girlfriend were laying down in their bedroom together listening to music. The knock startled them both, mostly because in the days prior they had heard screaming outside of their apartment and had an
Entities wrapped
incident
in
where
sadness.
someone had knocked on their door but ran away
Go away.
before they could answer. When Officer Ferragamo
On
and
this.
Officer Cook initially arrived
Go
at the
away.
apartment complex, they
On this, there
seemed
we go.
somewhat confused about where
Nah, it's entity on the
to contact the
Jen.
caller before eventually approaching Ryan's apartment.
Hello, Ghosty. He's right there. Ooh. .87 seconds. That is the amount of time that passed
passed between Ryan opening his door and the officer.
Is that in your real life, bro?
Fire. Ryan was struck in the back by two.
Hello, I'm on the hook, everybody.
The fact that he was clearly attempting to surrender. As soon as he understood what was happening, Ryan shot his hands immediately to the officers, began to cry as a show of surrender, and immediately
Anybody?
placed his firearm on the ground. After being shot, Ryan collapsed in the doorway of his apartment. The officers shifted their focus to securing Ryan's girlfriend, who had just witnessed everything that took place.
Get back inside. Get out here. Come out here. Come out. I'm gonna shoot you. Come out.
Now. Where'll be guy? He's near Nico. Dead on hook. Other one's getting worried. Wow. You're 1%. More return. First, let me test
Several
out.
minutes went by as the officers awaited EMS, but neither of them attempted to stop Ryan's bleeding. Instead, focused on containing the scene. Once other officers and EMS arrived, Officer Ferragamo stepped away from the scene to explain his version of the events to a fellow officer, which inadvertently proved exactly how unnecessary the shooting truly was.
She says, Amatures calls. When he calls back, they hot it out. And on the way, dispatcher says, just so you guys know, we weren't able to get any further info from the complaint. He says, he just going to answer yes to all the questions. He just wants to talk to you. Okay, great. Thanks for that. You know. So we come walking up to this.
Take your
I
time.
to the left of the door, Jeff's on the right of the door. Stand there. We can open.
I don't know.
Oh yeah. Show up. And the guy started walking down. So what happened? I mean, he took 2 steps out of the door. I mean, it's like door. Oh, gun, and then he went like that. And I was just like, whoa, getting ready to come in and squeeze.
Not only was Officer Ferragamo's recollection of the incident highly inaccurate and misleading, but he also clearly noted that both officers were fully aware that the original complainant was willing to say whatever he had to say to get the officers on the scene. That fact alone should have dramatically reduced the perceived danger of answering the complainant's own apartment, especially in a state where openly carrying firearms is legal and totally normal. Unfortunately, that fact had no bearing on the actions of Officer Cook that day, and Ryan Matthew Whitaker was pronounced dead at 11:10 p.m. on May 21st, 2020, just under 19 minutes after he was shot. That same day, the department issued a generic public statement that vaguely outlined the incident, but provided no meaningful details outside of the fact that an investigation had been launched. Ryan's death drew immediate criticism from his family, but the public was left in the dark about what actually happened because the Phoenix Police Department refused to release the body cam footage.
What really happened inside an Awatuki apartment? Father of two dead, shot and killed by a Phoenix police officer overnight. Two very different stories tonight. The only one who would truly know what happened is dead.
They call what they responded on was a physical fight or a verbal fight, and as they responded on scene, it was domestic violence and some type of physical altercation.
A spokesperson saying officers received not one, but two domestic violence calls from a neighbor saying there was a physical altercation. Phoenix police were asked directly, what did Whitaker do that made him a threat? But they have not given a clear answer.
At some point, that encounter ended with the officer shooting the individual.
Did he point a gun? Was he aggressive? Police not saying.
The department's refusal to release the footage, despite the wishes of Ryan's family, drew strong criticism from the citizens in Phoenix, and public pressure reached a boiling point almost immediately. Ryan's family held a press conference announcing their intent to seek justice and demanding the release of the footage. Alongside the public calls for justice and the support of the community, Ryan's family created the Justice for Ryan Whitaker Facebook page, which offers a particularly compelling window into the family's fight for justice and the pain and suffering that they were forced to endure.
I'm probably dead. Am I dead? Am I dead? No, I'm not. Where is it? Fucking.
It took 5 days.
Oh, it's the crash.
From the public and media scrutiny before the Phoenix Police Department finally released.
Oh no, I'm looking for one now.
The body cam.
I need shrooms.
911 call on July 15th. The footage grew.
I need drugs.
Backlash, and Ryan's family immediately demanded that both officers involved in the encounter be terminated from the department. But their calls.
You downloaded the game, yeah?
In November of 2020, Ryan's family.
Mushroom! I found the shrooms!
Phoenix PPD Chief Jerry Williams and the 2 officers involved in the incident. But by the city council was already discussing the settlement.
So, happening at the Phoenix City Council today, one of the largest settlements in the city's recent history. The council voted unanimously to pay $3 million to the family of Ryan Whitaker.
Everybody knew what the lion entered the room. So, did not leave here.
Picture's blind as fuck.
So now on to the county attorney's office to find out when someone is going to be held accountable. On to the back to the Phoenix police chief on
When are these officers going to be fired?
Those officers still on the job.
Although Ryan's family had managed to reach a settlement agreement relatively quickly and without much pushback from the city department, justice was still far from being served in their eyes.
176 days. I have no words today. I'm mad, angry, sad, and disgusted at the world we live in. There has been no justice for Ryan, and it really hurts my heart to think it doesn't matter.
Should I go and say that person?
And all their lawyers. Thanks for nothing.
The family, along with the Phoenix community, activists and citizens across the country were calling for both officers to be terminated and criminal charges filed against Officer Cook. But the city of Phoenix, the Phoenix Police Department, and the Maricopa County Prosecutor's Office were suspiciously quiet about any ongoing criminal investigation. It wasn't until January 29, 2021, over 8 months since Ryan's death, that the family would get any updates about whether the officers involved would be criminally prosecuted. It wasn't the news they were hoping for.
After 8 months of investigations, the Maricopa County attorney calling the case heart-wrenching, but deciding not to file any charges against the officer who killed an officer.
Alistair outrighting, Mr. Whitaker is dead, and he shouldn't be. The county attorney at Dell isn't charging Officer Cook with a crime. Some pushing for since the shooting.
No matter if they obey, if they comply, does not matter. As long as the officer says, this is what I found, this is how we feel.
Officer Cook,
Yeah.
investigators, his partner's life was in danger when he saw Whitaker's gun.
He was a good person.
Then they're not letting Friday see. No one will see.
My family will continue to fight for change.
Needless to say, Ryan's family was devastated and left feeling powerless.
323 days since Officer Jeff Cook of the Phoenix Police Department shot Ryan in the back. Now, Mr. John Fairwell, why really happened? It's changed. Ryan
Although the Maricopa County prosecutors announced that they would not file criminal charges against Officer Cook, there was still hope that
One bloody killer from the back.
at the very least. And surprisingly, he called for Officer Cook's termination during some good traction within the department.
Camping me.
Police officer fatally shot a man out to the apartment complex in May
Yeah.
2020 is about to lose his job.
And while Cook faced no criminal charges, because prosecutors couldn't prove his decision to use deadly force was unreasonable,
She's gone.
12 minutes learned that after incident, Jerry Williams has notified Officer Cook of the intent to move forward to end his employment with the Phoenix Police Department. And while that process is underway, he will remain on administrative leave.
Although the department's use of force board had ruled the shooting justified, Chief Williams overrode their findings and decided to move forward with firing Officer Cook.
Oh, of course, this
But
might
if
be
you're a
not
fan
fucking-
of this channel, then I'm sure you're well aware that firing an officer is never as simple as filing paperwork and forcing them to turn over their badge. Almost immediately after the chief's decision was announced, the local police union became involved, and an appeal process was formally launched. As this process was unfolding, a new problem developed for the Phoenix Police Department that would eventually shine a blinding light on the true context of Ryan's death.
Department of Justice announcing today it is looking into whether the Phoenix Police Department has violated the Constitution.
And specifically, they're looking into whether or not the Phoenix Police Department engaged in discriminatory policing. They're also looking to see if the department
What else?
retaliated against protesters
And if police illegally trashed homeless people's belongings, that is not all of it.
The Phoenix Police Department was under a microscope, was being scrutinized by the media, the public, and the federal government all at once. In the midst of the DOJ's investigation into the department's pattern of misconduct, Officer Cook's battle to keep his job was still ongoing. But in early December of 2021, roughly 5 months into the federal investigation, Officer Cook went before the Phoenix Civil Service Board for a hearing to determine whether or not he would be terminated.
Phoenix police officer
You're on a jet, actually.
reinstated almost 5 months after the chief of police, Jerry Williams, decided to fire him after a deadly shooting.
Rather than being terminated,
towards
Officer
you.
Cook was reinstated to his job, with the only punishment being a 240-hour suspension with back pay. The Civil Service Board's decision was final, and it could not be contested. And it has never been publicly reported that Officer Cook was ever terminated, so there's a strong chance that he still works for the PPD to this day. After the board's decision to reinstate Officer Cook, Ryan's story slowly faded from the mainstream news cycle, but the DOJ investigation into the department was still quietly unfolding behind the scenes. It would be over 2 years before the investigation was complete and its findings were finally released in June of 2024. The report found that the PPD used excessive and unjustified deadly force, targeted and harassed homeless people, engaged in racial discrimination, violated constitutional rights, mistreated citizens with mental health issues, and treated children in a manner that raised serious concern. The DOJ went on to list several remedial recommendations ranging from improving use of force policy and training to developing full-scale accountability mechanisms. In response to the DOJ's findings, the city of Phoenix announced that it would be adopting a host of new public safety improvements aimed at tackling the issues raised in the report and by the community. But the story doesn't quite end there. Although it initially appeared as though some real change was happening as a result of the investigation, less than 1 year later, the DOJ's Civil Rights Division unexpectedly announced that it would be ceasing many of the lawsuits and investigations that were active.
It's funny, I can't.
Citing the expense of these investigations and stating that, quote, "Today we are ending the Biden Civil Rights Division's failed experiment of handcuffing local leaders and police departments with factually unjustified incentive." To this day, the Phoenix Police Department is consistently involved with allegations of misconduct and fraudulence.
That was just after me now.
Recent controversies involved a sergeant who was placed under internal investigation after allegedly showing up armed and masked to a school protest and telling reporters he wanted protesters to
This.
so they could be arrested. And back in February of this year, a former PPD officer pleaded guilty to despicable crimes while on duty. So it seems as though that pattern of practice that the DOJ discovered during their investigation may still be very much alive and well. Many stories on this channel. This one ends with very little accountability. And with a gaping, inescapable
Literally stood in the
the
open.
lives of family members, friends, and
Keep doing a general
so much
sweat.
for being here and for watching this video to the end. It's the best way you can support the channel outside of liking, subscribing, and watching every single video. But seriously, it really does help the channel grow.
That's what you're doing there.
These stories reach new people who can watch all the way to the end. Unlike my normal video format, I'm gonna skip the takeaways and ranting on this one. So hopefully the story gets a little more focused than my bullshit. You can let me know how you feel about that editorial decision in the comments below. That's all I got for you today, folks. Again, thank you so much for being here, and I'll see you in the next one.
No, it won't give me a chance to know.
That someone does an audit that is legally sound, well documented, and has a legitimate point to make. Like I said in the last video, personal audits are disorganized and often misconformed, and literally anyone that can press a record button can become one. So it's rare that we find an auditor out in the wild when is doing it right, considering that there's basically no barrier to entry.
Not playing against a crass over
according to police officers. But today,
God, what are you doing? Good sit. Half an hour.
A lot of drivers getting totally wrong. So in this video, I'm going to see 7 types of cameras you'll encounter on UK roads, how each one actually works, and the myths that are still catching people out. And the camera at number 7, guys, will genuinely surprise most people watching this, because it doesn't just check your speed anymore, not even close. We're going to go through one at a time, starting with the most common one on UK roads. Right, let's start with the big yellow box on the pole, the cancel. This is what most people picture when someone says speed, and for good reason, because it's been on the UK road since 1992, longer than a lot of you want. So, how does it actually work? The camera uses a radar to measure the speed of vehicles. As your vehicle enters the detection area, the radar calculates your speed. Now here's where a lot of people get it. The jack soap is rear facing. The lens points back down the road to photograph the back of your car as you move away. So some drivers assume the radar must be rear facing too. It isn't. In the classic rear facing capsule setup, the radar measures your speed as you approach the camera. The lens faces in the direction to photograph the evidence after you pass. Your speed gets recorded first. The photo is confirmed it was your car. Now, the 10% plus 2 thing, a lot of you may have heard of this, so doing 35 in a 30, 46 in a 40, and the idea that you can get away with it and you're safe under those numbers. This guidance comes from the NPCC, that's the National Police Chiefs Council, and it's a threshold below which forces are recommended not to prosecute. It's not the law, and it's not a right. So individual forces set their own thresholds, and crucially, it doesn't mean that the camera won't capture you below that number. It means that the force may choose not to act on what it captured. So those are 2 things. So you can get a ticket for doing 35 and a 30, but you're less likely to receive a ticket for doing 35 and a 30. So do not confuse those 2 statements. Coming up next is a camera that fundamentally changed how speeding is caught on UK roads. These ones, average speed cameras. The most common system is called specs. These are yellow cameras mounted on poles, sometimes on bridges, often in roadways, but not always, all of that is it. Here's exactly how they work. Camera 1 reads a number plate and logs the exact time. Camera 2 further down the road reads your plate again and logs the time again. The system then does the maths. Distance between those 2 points divided by the time it took you, that's your average speed over that section. If it's over the enforcement threshold, you're automatically getting a ticket. It's just the maths. No flash either. That's the thing that catches people. There's no visible flash, no indication you've been caught, you just get a letter. Now the myth, and this one I hear all the time. You can speed between the 2 cameras and slow down before each one brings your average down.
Mount Ormond not really on this map for you.
The calculation is between camera 1 and camera 2. It doesn't care what your speed was at any point in the middle. So if you did 60 in a 50,
I think it could be an unknown.
The entire stretch and then slow down to 40 for the last 200 meters before camera 2, your average speed is still over the limit. The maths is the maths. So I'm not sure how anyone can plan the exact distance they need to slow down. And honestly, in my opinion, average speed cameras are harder to beat than any of the camera on the list. Right, next up, the camera that is on the motorways right now that most drivers don't even recognise as a camera. Right, this one. I genuinely believe this is the most misunderstood camera on UK roads, known as the HALH3, Highways Agency Digital Enforcement Camera. kind of small motorways, and when asked drivers if they know what those small grey units are on the side of the Grand Prix, most of them have no idea they're even looking at speed cameras. They don't look like speed cameras.
Just give me some good points.
Grey, angled down at lanes, no big yellow box, no obvious signage pointing at the go straight past without registering what they are. This is where drivers get bored. These cameras can enforce both national speed limit and reduce the variable limits. What changes is a limit they enforce. On a clear motorway with no variable limits showing, they'll catch you if you're doing over 70. But the moment those overhead signs drop to 60, 50 or 40, that's a new threshold. Same camera, same road,
happy.
lower limit. So if the Grand Prix is showing 50 because of an incident ahead, you'll still do 70 because you have
no, probably not.
Remember, a number in a circle on an overhead gantry is a mandatory legal speed limit. The moment it's not advisory, it's not a suggestion, it's a law. So the limit can change in seconds, and a lot of drivers don't adjust quickly enough, and because these cameras don't look like cameras, there's no visual trigger to make them. Next, cameras that I really dislike, mobile cameras. The ones you genuinely can't predict. Mobile cameras. And the reason these keep people on their toes is simple. You cannot predict where they'll be. The most common setup is a van park on the side of the road or on a bridge. Inside, an operator is using a laser, not radar, laser, to target vehicles. That distinction matters because most traditional radar detectors offer little or no warning against laser speed. By the time your detector reacts, it's already too late. And the range on these is up to a kilometre in some cases. So that van you just spotted on the bridge ahead, you were already in range before you even saw it. Now, something most drivers don't know. A lot of police forces voluntarily publish their planned mobile camera sites. Not all of them, and there's no legal requirements to do so. So many forces put their scheduled locations on their websites. Sometimes it's useful. We're looking up to local forces. But they are not required to make the camera visible before you reach it. The legal requirement says advanced warning signs apply to fixed cameras, not just one more thing about speed cameras. Young clean drivers that flash their headlights, they are warning you of a speed camera. You're the real ones. Obviously, I'm not encouraging speeding or anything like that, but how nice are fellow drivers, total strangers, looking out for one another. If you agree, please right, next, the camera now people just walk past every single day. Traffic light cameras. Here's the thing, most drivers don't know
shit's aiming.
The penalty for jumping a red light is 3 points and 100 fine. Same as speed. If both offences trigger from the same incident, you're looking at both charges separately. That's about 2 seconds obviously. Don't treat an amber light as green, and definitely don't treat it as a reason to accelerate. True or not? This one is the direct opposite of the gap size of When the gap size rear facing, the Trevelo is facing forward. It photographs the front of the vehicle, which means it captures the driver's face directly. And guess how this one detects speed? Not radar. It's just about lenses. The electric sensors and sensors are embedded into the lenses. As it tries to cross them, the sensors calculate the distance. No radar beam, which means radar detects you get the movement. The flash is also
She camped in the shack.
So use the bright white flash you can see in the The Trevelo uses the filter flash, which is far less noticeable. So unlike the gap stop, most drivers don't even know they're being filmed until the left arrives. Now there is one group that this camera often uses. That's motorcyclists, because it's forward facing and photographs the front of the vehicle, and motorcycles don't have a front plate. Right, now let's move on to the final camera.
Nope, he's gone.
This one is new. And honestly, this is where speed cameras stop feeling like speed cameras and start feeling like something else entirely. The Red Speed Sentinel. This is a 4D radar, AI-powered camera, and speed is almost the least interesting thing it does. Yes, it measures speed across up to 6 lanes in both directions. But while it's doing that, it's also scanning the driver's hands for a mobile phone, it's checking that seatbelts are being worn, and through ANPR technology, vehicle details can be checked against relevant databases depending on how the system is designed. Potentially, like a vehicle safety. So passing this one camera can land you multiple potential.
Yeah, coming out
It's not
now.
widespread yet, but it's being rolled out, and the direction of travel is clear. Cameras only have to respond to the vehicle, not less. Now, I know what some of you are thinking, and yes, there are genuine debates around privacy with technology like this, but this is where things are heading. And the days of only having to worry about your speed around the camera are already ending. Right, let's now talk about the 5 main myths around speed cameras. There's always a warning sign before a speed. Most fixed cameras are signposted, but there's no general legal requirement for every speed camera to have a band code size. For mobile cameras, there is no legal requirement whatsoever. A band code aerosol with a laser gun is completely optional. You're safe at 10% plus 10. We've covered this in the Gato section, but it's worth repeating here because it applies to every camera on the list. Remember, forces can and do set their own limits. You're not legally protected under that. Covering your number plate means nothing. Obscuring your plate is a criminal offense.
I'm near him.
My dashcam footage will prove I wasn't speeding. Only if your dashcam records GPS speed plate. Footage alone doesn't prove. And even the GPS log dashcam speed isn't calibrated evidence of the way enforcement is being supporting information. Speed cameras are just about maintenance. Here's some data for you. On the A9 Scotland alone, official data shows fatal penalties fell by over 40% at the speed cameras. Whatever you do, that's it. Right guys, just about finished the video in time, and you can see it's getting dark, and my honest take is that speed cameras aren't going anywhere. The technology is just getting more and more advanced, and as you just seen, they're not just looking at your speed anymore. Please drop a comment and let me know which camera surprised you the most, and if this was useful, the like button genuinely helps me, and this video will reach more people, and it's the biggest signal YouTube uses to push content. So please do that for me, and subscribe if you haven't already. See you next.
It's rare, ladies and gentlemen. It's rare that someone does an audit that is legally sound, well documented, and has a legitimate point to make. Like I said in my last video, person auditors are disorganized and often misinformed. And literally anyone that can press a record button can become one. So it's rare that we find an auditor out in the wild who's doing it right, considering that there's basically no barrier to entry. It's rare, ladies and gentlemen, it's rare that someone does an audit that is legally sound, well documented, and has a legitimate point to make.
Good evening. Good. I'm Sergeant Iverson of West County Sheriff's Office. The reason I pulled you over is you blew that stop sign back there.
No, I didn't. I came to a complete stop at that stop sign.
All right.
I mean, I didn't. I came to a stop.
No, you didn't. So,
What do you mean? I mean, what do you mean?
you step out of the vehicle for me.
Okay. I mean, can you show me that I would?
Step out.
Okay. I'm just wondering.
Real quick, you got anything on you? Should keep your hands out of your pocket.
It wasn't. I don't have anything on me, officer. My back, officer. I don't have anything on me. My back, officer. Why are you? What? Can you just tell me, officer? Please, can you tell me what you're arrested for?
Is she still near you? What, Dave?
So Sergeant Iverson was later no-billed by a grand jury in Rusk County, which basically means that
See in a bit. Blimey, she's there.
Timothy's family did go on to
You're dead on hope now.
lawsuit against Sergeant Iverson, and in January of this year, the magistrate in the Eastern District of Texas denied him qualified immunity, which at least they got that one. So obviously, once CBS 19 released the body camera footage, this upset quite a few people, and that is what led the man who goes by the name.
He's dead on hope, so you know what?
To
staying where I am.
To Henderson, Texas, which is the largest city in Rusk County. This video that I'm about to show you was posted on May 4th, 2025 on Otto the Watchdog's channel, and I highly suggest that you go follow him if you don't already. Otto was there to protest the death of Timothy Randall and exercise his right to free speech, and he was holding several different signs with wildly different messages on each one. Some of them a little more vulgar than others, and it didn't take very long for an officer from the Henderson Police Department to show up.
Oh yeah, they parked. Oh shit.
You stay right here, ain't going nowhere.
No, I'm leaving. Why not? You got profanity on your sign. Am I
Yeah,
being
you want to know
detained
where I
right this
am?
second?
Right there. I got in there,
Oh,
and she
boy.
come
Okay.
round. You know where that hook is there?
Well, I'm just trying to figure out what's going on.
Yeah, that hook there.
You got that profane sign with that.
She ran past here.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
I got in the locker, she come round that corner, and then I'm like, oh, she's there.
That guy's being disorderly.
It worked.
Actually, I don't know if I have it on me or not, but I'm not gonna give it to you. Am I under arrest? Am I? Are you sure about that? It's Texas Penal Code 3802. Is it? Are you sure about that? Are you 100% sure about that? You know, so I'm standing on, like, the sidewalk? You know what I mean? So I'm standing on the sidewalk? Yeah. Inside the police okay, like I said, that guy right there is doing disorderly conduct. Look, he's yelling at people. He's carrying.
I ain't getting moored.
I think he might be intoxicated too. That's public intox. Look, sir, I'm making a report right now, and his disorderly conduct is breaching my peace. Am I under arrest?
I ain't getting moored.
Okay, well, under Texas Penal Code 38.0, I do not have to identify unless I've been lawfully arrested. That's exactly how it works. I can give you the. Hey, look it up.
See you in a bit.
Okay. Is that true?
So Otto is right.
Went up on that door.
Texas is not a stop and ID state, which means that an officer needs more than just reasonable suspicion to demand an ID. In Texas, and pretty much any other state that's not a stop and identify state, you are not required to show your ID unless you are being arrested. The code that Otto's referencing there, Texas Penal Code 3802,
Really, you looked in them, but not this one.
on ETA, is also one of the laws that officers in Texas, in my opinion, should be the most familiar with. And it clearly states that you do not have to show your ID unless you have been lawfully arrested. Needless to say, Otto is definitely in the right here.
You ain't getting no more on me, bitch.
Oh no, that's terrible. Is that about me? What'd they say? Can I get back to what I was doing, or am I still detained? Can I hold my sign on here while you figure it out? Not to anyone? Is that a compliment? You point to your...
There we go.
I'm talking about what you're doing to me. I want to stand over here and hold my sign without you
Unlucky.
standing here. You know, and saying things. I can. Oh, yes, I can. Oh, yes, I can. Yes, I can. As a matter of fact, you like this one?
Oh dear, no
Okay,
more
you
for
like this
you.
one? Can I hold this one? Okay, I can't hold this one. You said I can't. I'm not gonna run or nothing. I'm just gonna step over this metal thing so I don't fall. Can I hold this one? Okay. How about this one? This one's okay too?
Waiting for MC Bertrude in the house.
This one's fine? Okay. How about that one? Not this one? This is the one? Oh no. This sign is being disorderly. You can have it. You can arrest the sign.
Alright, so I have to applaud Otto here for setting up such a well-executed trap on this officer. What Otto's doing here is proving that the reason the officer is restricting his free speech is based purely on the content of the speech, not because it actually violates any law. This is a really smart way to prove that because it can be really hard to actually prove this in court, and it's often a point of contention in lawsuits involving the police and the First Amendment. Oftentimes, officers can claim that they didn't care about the message the person was attempting to convey, and that the arrest was all about keeping the peace. But here, Otto forces this cop to prove on camera that the only reason he's making contact with him is because of the message he is relaying. Very clever trap here, and good job by Otto.
I didn't mean to hit you. I'm sorry. Please don't shoot me. Please don't shoot me. How about this one? So which one of these are you? Are you this one? Well, I don't want to put the signs down. So if I do that, it's because you're going to order me to do so. Not because I really want to. Are you going to arrest me if I don't put it down?
Waiting for you.
Well, what are you going to do to me? I need to know. Okay. Can I hold it back to the police line? How about that one? This one's okay, right? What's this guy doing? He's trying to impede my First Amendment free speech. He doesn't like my sign. Oh no, hey, they shot a guy last year for that. Don't do that. That was terrible. Who are you in? Oh, okay. So technically not you, but I mean also kind of you. Like your department and whatnot. Oh, you don't? Did they not tell you about it? Did you snitch on me? See it now, you look like a hero. Now when they post it on Facebook, it's gonna be like, hey, look, this cop's out there supporting this guy. What if I sneak one in? What if I sneak one of these other ones in? Here, I'll do this one. I'll do it like this. That way, the sign can say whatever the people think it says. And then if they think it's offensive, then that's on them, right? So I would definitely, just me, honestly, me personally, I prefer to stand right here on this public sidewalk and do exactly what I've been doing.
Oh, raccoon.
Without now 2 police officers showing up. Yeah. Well, why is he coming? Because you told him to.
It's a legion.
On your thing right there. Hi. How's it going? Hey, buddy. Here. You want a card? Have a great day. Do y'all drug test? Yeah. Y'all drug test at your department? You passed one recently? What the fuck, bro?
The Legion.
Okay, fantastic. Okay. This one? No, the other one, obviously. Yeah. Okay. A criminal offense? A city ordinance is usually civil offenses where I could get a ticket or something. Okay, so you might want to make sure that the city ordinance applies to a sidewalk.
I'll just keep working on this gen. How's God going?
Protection is not enough. Using old school bomb.
So I tried to look up this supposed Henderson municipal code that these officers are referencing, but I couldn't find anything in their code of ordinances that had anything to do with profanity or public indecency or anything like that. At least not for what is most recently available online, which was last updated on June 5th, 2024, as you can see here on the screen. Regardless, if there were a local code that prohibited the public display of profane language in public, it would never survive the scrutiny of a court. And that's probably why there is no Henderson code like that in the first place.
Underneath an American, you see that flag right there? Yeah, it's a, exactly that's why.
Is the one up top? No.
Well, I don't care what you think you're doing. You are arguing. Okay. I know. That's why I'm doing it right here. Where do you want me to do it? You want me to go in my closet and shut the door? No. Okay. Oh well.
Oh yeah, good.
They don't like it, they do it away.
Oh.
There's a whole lot of things I don't like. Yeah, obviously. I'm gonna stand right here and continue to do exactly what I was doing. Am I under arrest? Have I been arrested? Am I simply being detained for an investigation? Okay. Well, when you guys decide to arrest me, I'll tell you my name. But until then, I would like to continue standing right here
Oh God,
and doing exactly what I've been doing. If you don't mind. I didn't say that. I told you. That's exactly the opposite of what I just told you. I told you when you... Yes. Yes. There's a prerequisite there. That's not a refusal. If you arrest me, I will follow the law and identify once I've been lawfully arrested. That's just being into as dispatch, look it up. Am I driving? Because what you're referencing is trust.
Found one.
Thank you, sir. I appreciate that. How is that guy smarter than you are, you big dummy? Jesus. This guy. You know how much this lady pays each year to have you guys here? $109. That's fine. I'm standing up for her rights too. Because one day she might get a little bit pissed off and want to say something. That somebody might try to fix it.
Oh, Miss Lauren Levers.
152.
Alright, so I just want to
Let's
know
do this last gen.
the reason that Otto is verbally stating the time right there is probably to document how long
It's upstairs.
the detainment is lasting. Because if a detainment lasts too long,
upstairs, middle of, say you're in the centre, upstairs, turn left, and somewhere around there.
Which basically means that it's an arrest by proxy. As in, it is a detention that lasted long enough for the courts to consider it equal to having been arrested. Otto didn't necessarily need to verbalize the time there because this interaction is all being recorded and, the camera can timestamp things like that. But I can see how
Billy
it
is
helps a
faggy then.
judge or a jury, for example, keep track of what's going on and how things are transpiring. Anyway, just a quick point. Back to the video.
What's that thing on your shoulder with the light people on it? Your SWAT thing, your SWAT? That's why you're getting, you handle a gun.
There's the door at the back.
Yeah. So I'm gonna, if you want to get married for the next 3 to 5 years,
got a
Well,
random
so
key,
if
I'll
you
take
continue
it.
doing what you're doing, we will be married for the next 35 years. And you will remember my name every single day.
MC Gertrude.
Okay, well then she probably turn
Right,
around and
key.
get the fuck out of here. You know what I'm saying? Well, I want to hold my signs, and I'm on a very limited schedule. I don't have a whole lot of time left. So if I'm
Right,
gonna
key.
do what I'm doing to get my message out, then I need you to allow me to do so without doing violence
Either
to me.
chat scene teammates or
If I hold
resort.
this sign, are you gonna do violence to me? Would you breach the peace if I held this sign right here? No? If you're not going to breach the peace, then I'm going to continue to do it.
And to go to the door? Or are you staying
How long does the
here?
investigation take usually? Can I hold the sign? Okay, we'll come say, do you mind if I do this while I do this?
Ah,
Hey, look, you had to say
I'll
no.
bet.
Okay, so that's why I'm going to continue doing exactly what I was doing. Okay, I'm not under arrest, so as long as you're okay with that.
But
Is this
there's some
shit.
hang on.
What's going on here? I mean, that's a little bit. That is a little bit. This one's a little bit, right? You like that? I mean, it's funny. Objectively funny. Is this one okay? This one? Or the other one? This one? Both of them. Which one do you like better? Hey, so let's ask the truth. Who do you like better? Why?
Look at it. Shit, control died. Long time for control to die.
Is that an order? I need you to tell me it's an order, sir. I need you to tell me, hey, it's a thing. If you're not ordering me to do so, then I don't want to. See what I'm saying? I want to hold my signs right here.
Long time for me controller to die, that but
I would rather not take you to jail today. I should even get a ticket.
jolly good.
Does your city ordinances trump the United States Constitution?